So we're working with YWAM to bring us more teams so we can stay constant at teaching English. They will start coming to one of our larger buildings to learn English. They know they need that for an edge to get a job. And then we'll invite the college students back on a Friday for a Friday night rally. We'll have a dinner, we'll have games, we'll have songs, and then we'll have some testimonies. I kind of changed the testimonies from the YWAMers because they were so gross. Oh, some of the stories they say about their home life, it was so dysfunctional. I thought, oh, I don't want my people to think that America is like that. But it was really sad. So we had to start saying to the students coming, pick a Bible verse and share it and what it means to you. And that is working out better than their horrible testimonies. It was, a lot of them aren't even saved too. Not a lot, but a few are coming that aren't even saved. That's with YWAM. So they're not turning anybody down nowadays. They're just going out into the highways and byways and getting people and saying, do you want to go on these evangelistic trips? I don't know if that's good or bad, but that seems to be the picture. So we're adjusting to that. One thing about the mission field, you have to be flexible. Americans seem to be uptight about everything. Has to be organized, it has to be punctual, it has to be this room and not that room, and this way and not that way. And so that reminds me of something real quick. Phil Klein, I don't know how many of you know, he used to be Attorney General here in Kansas. And he's a good friend of mine. He's got a thing called, he likes sports history. And so he was saying to me the other day, he said, Naismith invented basketball at KU. I don't know how many years ago, but they used to use a peach basket that they hung up on a pole. And when they made a shot and the ball stayed in the basket, they would climb up a ladder and throw it back out to everybody. And then later they used the pole, they had another pole that they popped the bottom of the basket and the ball would come out. They didn't have to use a ladder. Now, how many years do you think they did that before they cut the bottom of the basket out? 15 years. We are not flexible. I mean, we have always done it this way with the ladder and the pole, and we are not going to change. Yeah, remember that story when somebody pioneers a new idea about evangelism, because there are so many different ways that you could go about leading people to Christ. But a couple of tips that I found down through the years was, I don't let people ask me a bunch of questions. Because, number one, I don't have the answers to all of them. Even though I've been a Christian 40 years, I still don't have all the answers to them. But it's like a smoke screen, and you don't want to go down that road. You want to get them to pray to receive Christ as soon as you can, and then give them a tract and have them study the booklet and the verses when they go home, because you usually don't have a whole lot of time with them. But when they say that prayer, something happens inside and it changes them. And I've seen it time and time and time again, as well as myself. They don't have any more questions they want to ask you. All of a sudden they have a satisfaction in their heart. And they don't need to. They learn gradually now from that point on. So that argumentative spirit doesn't rise up and cause discord. And you don't need it, so don't even go that way. Now, transition from giving your testimony to your neighbor, to your fellow co-worker, your student friends, is you talk about how God supplied a need, how He's the God of provision or a healing, or something supernatural happened in your life and you're excited about it, and so you're telling your neighbor. Now, you don't just walk away after you tell them this fantastic, marvelous experience. But that's what we do. Well, have a good day. I'll talk to you later about this. No. As soon as you get done with that, you say, well, how about you? Would you want this kind of God in your life so that you can have miraculous things happen, so that you can have peace, so that you can rest when you're unemployed and need a job? He provides for you. And it's simple. All you need to do is just say this prayer with me. And don't even take a break in between sentences, because they'll come in there and what are you laughing at? You know you've been there? Oh, you've been there. Yes, that's right. They'll come in there in those brief moments and start up with a question, but let me explain how God broke my heart the other day. He took my dad, you know. Well, we have a devil out there. He's out there working against nature just as much as God is trying to provide for us. So it's important to know who your enemy is out there, and don't get mad at God. But you don't, now that they've already got you going down this road of explaining this and that, and you want them to pray, just say this prayer. And the sooner, the better. And those are just a couple of things that I've learned down through the years to avoid misfortune and to get results. And my husband and I said when we went to Thailand, if we're not effective in our retirement here, we're going to go back home and retire like everybody else and go to Walmart twice a week. And a church, do something at church, maybe take a cruise to Alaska, whatever seniors do, I don't know. It's been too many I've been almost 9 years in Thailand now. But we needed to be effective in what we're doing. If you're not effective, you need to change something about your strategy, about your focus. YWAM is big time focus. And if the leaders find the students are getting out of focus with all the sex tourism that's going around and they see all that, they get called on the carpet. They're in a fast situation. They're not going to the night market and shop. It's like lockdown at the prisons. And they get their focus back. Now they usually are 3 months in a study program before they're 3 months in the field. So when they arrive, they are focused and they are effective. It's good, though, that if we could be in a focused situation all the time in our daily Christian walk, right here as ordinary, average people. And just looking for that divine appointment Pastor prayed about when everybody goes to the prophetic evangelism at the mall. And just, now they're setting out focus if they're going to the mall. They already know why they're going in this. But I'm just talking about everyday conversation where you look for that opportunity where you can share something and then have a prayer with them. When the teams come, and I'm saying this in case anybody wanted to come visit us, we have outreaches. So we have from 1 to 4, we have our boys where we do Bible study, and then we have worship and praise in Thai and English, and then we have English. Then we have dinner, then our girls come home from school, and they need English. But after that, the teams are free to go downtown to the night market. We have a lot of people from all over Europe and Germany who all speak English. They all need Christ in their life. And so they evangelize those while in between having a good time, because we're all about having a good time. I mean, I worked a full-time job for a long time, and I looked forward to going on short-term mission trips, but I wanted a little R&R too. So we not only have these different outreaches that we do at the prisons, at the drug rehabs, at the crippled children's homes, at the HIV children's homes, where we come in with a song and a game and testimonies and altar call. At every place we go, old people's homes, leprosy homes, disabled, physically handicapped homes for children. And we are free, the university, of course, and then the high schools and grade schools. But we are free in Thailand. They have a freedom of religion just like America, but even more so over there. You can tell the creation story in the public schools. You can tell them about Christmas, what it means, the truth about that. And so, I mean, we can't even do that here. Shame on us, right? So, but yes, over there you can. So we have all these different fun outreaches. And they're effective. I give everybody a turn to give the altar call that wants to. I let everybody that wants to share a Bible verse and what it means to them, they have a right to do that. We go to the drug rehabs for teen girls and for teen boys. And they all love the change there, too, at the drug rehabs. We're known for the change just about everywhere we go. Nobody shuts us out. I mean, all we have to do is fax them a letter and we get approved within 24 hours, usually. So that's just some of the things you would do. We have an all-day elephant camp where you can wash the elephants in the river and then watch them do the show, and they play basketball and paint with their trunks. Then you ride them for an hour across the river into the jungle, and then take an ox cart back, and then have an all-you-can-eat Thai buffet, which is really good, and then get on a raft and go down the river for an hour on this flat raft, and you can even guide it. There's bungee jumping. We got zip lining down the mountain. That's new. And our teams are off one day a week, and that's where they do. They just take a pick of whatever. We have a thing called Tiger Kingdom. And now I know personally 3 people who have been eaten by the tigers, and they still use the same tigers, but you can lay down with them and get your picture taken with them. And yeah. So and my pastor from one of my pastors from Australia, he brought Ruth, this senior citizen from his church, and she just insisted on going to Tiger Kingdom, and he said, yeah. Well, her entire thigh got ripped off. She was in the hospital for a long time because it got staph infected. They just packed the meat back on the bone and sewed it up. And so I don't recommend Tiger Kingdom if you wanted to come visit us. I'm always looking for long-term volunteers. I have 2 right now, a guy and a girl. And they are like 1-year commitments like that. And but I need more than that because I've got like 50 learning English, and I need more than 2 long-term volunteers. But you would stay with us for free, and then if you know anybody that would want to come to Thailand and stay with us, please pass our email all along to somebody else. I have red flyers back there on the table with the jewelry, and it's got my email address on there. And yeah, it's a free stay for anybody that stays a year. If you stay less than that, it's $3 a day. And